Hi readers, so I just finished Red Queen and I really liked it. There's just a couple things that make it not a 5-star read for me, but they're not really that crazy, so it's still a really good read and I would totally reread it again. Before I explain the plot, look at this cover. I saw this cover and I was convinced it was a fantasy book. I did not know it was dystopian. So if you didn't know, it's dystopian. I had no idea. So for the plot, basically there's reds and silvers. Silvers have evolved, mutated, whatever, and they're people with silver blood. I think they're a little bit more pale looking. Their blood is silver and they have supernatural powers like controlling fire or controlling nature or controlling metal, things like that. Reds are just the little people. They're not super special with powers or anything. They're just the lowly servants that just keep everything running for the high and mighty silvers. Our main character is a red. She lives in this little shanty town. There's a war going on where her dad and her brothers have all been conscripted to go fight in this war for the silvers because the silvers don't care, so they're just going to keep sending reds off to fight their battles for them. Basically, she ends up in the palace as a servant and meets the princes, and there's a whole story to go from there. There's also a red blood rebellion group going on, which is kind of freaking out some of the silvers. Basically, our main girl ends up engaged to one of the princes. I have to say, from the very beginning, like in that other video when I was actually reading it, I love Cal. As I was reading it this whole time, I was just like, yep, Cal, I love Cal. The boy that she is engaged to, Cal's younger brother, I did not like him at all. He's just so boring. This is the reason I gave it less than 5 stars, is because she's engaged to Maven, Cal's younger brother. I feel like the author's trying to push this whole, we want Maven, 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 Maven. No. That's so frustrating. And she's trying to push this whole, I hate Cal, I hate Cal, I hate Cal, but there's no good reasons for it. There's a couple times where she mentions, oh, Cal likes to kill people, Cal is a murderer, Cal is this terrible person. Don't get me wrong, this is not the whole morally gray character love whatever thing that book talk, Instagram, whatever is obsessed with right now. This is a just saying things, trying to convince herself that she hates this character just because, honestly, that is the one thing I'm confused about. It feels very forced and fake for our main girl to like him and then all of a sudden turn around and go, no, I hate him, he's this terrible person. I'm like, yeah, but why? And she says that he's this terrible person and he's killed people and he wants to kill people. I haven't seen that. I don't understand where she got that from, really. He is a soldier, he's a warrior, he wants to go out and fight with his people and keep his country safe, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a killer and he wants to go hurting people. He is a silver, so he does have this vision of silvers are better than reds, but he ends up liking her, and so obviously that's not that strong of a feeling. There's another character named Kaloran in here who's a childhood friend who also feels like he's supposed to be some love interest, and she had feelings for him, but none of it feels legit, none of it feels authentic, and I really don't believe it. I literally just like Cal because he has goals and he knows what he wants and he's gonna go for it. Unlike these other guys who are just floating through life. Besides the not very well done romance feel that this book tries to have just for a little bit, it's really good. I really like it. I like the different views of, you see how the reds live and everything versus how the silvers live. I am excited to start book 2. Okay, so for gore and spice and all that, spice, I'd say it's like a 0 or a 1. There's some mild kissing, but it's like barely, it's like 1 kiss, I think, really. Like there's nothing. They dance at one point. There's literally like nothing. For gore, they do have this arena thing. The silvers like to show off their powers and fight each other, fight the reds, fight whatever. Just even go down there by themselves and show off their powers. There's one girl who kills a bunch of doves. She can control animals and she does make them fly up into an electric kind of cage top thing. There's a couple instances where soldiers are beating on people, but nothing crazy gory. And then there's a couple of scenes where later some of the rebels have targeted some people and they end up placing bombs or shooting them, things like that. But there's nothing like really intensely gory. Definitely less than like the Hunger Games. Nothing scary, nothing supernatural, because I won't read that. Really, the only issue with this book that I had was the forced romance, which didn't even really happen. So that's literally it. That's why it's not totally 5 stars. Anyways, I did enjoy it, and I'm super excited to read the next one. So that is all I have to say about this book. Happy reading!